Hi everybody, thanks for watching this video and thanks for your support for subscriptions etc. to my channel. It's absolutely fantastic, seriously, because I've had a lot more people subscribing to my channel, watching my videos and etc. There's quite a grow. At the moment I am my channel has almost 1000 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your interest, for your support and etc. Thank you. Anyway, it's been a while, but I want to continue my video series about the chord harmonica. So this is video number 5 in the series about the chord harmonica. We discussed all the different types of chord harmonicas. I'll give you some tips how you can start practicing, what you can do just to get used to playing it, etc. Certain exercises, and then I explained the layout of the chords, so where all your chords are, etc. What I've also noticed in my previous videos, I put a link in the description to a document about the chord harmonica. What I didn't realise, and I only just found out a week ago, is that there's actually something missing there. Not probably interesting for everybody, but still very, very interesting if you want to move on a bit with your chord harmonica. So in this link in this video, I will put a link to an updated document about the chord harmonica. The idea was for me to just put up a whole document that describes everything, how the harmonica is laid out. There's a chart in there, how the chords are all laid out. It describes various harmonicas. It comes with some rhythmic exercises that you can do, some chord progressions in there, and etc. But the part that I just noticed was missing, and I'd actually put it on the file already a long time ago, but I forgot to actually, accidentally give you an older incomplete version. So here in this video is a new file with the complete file. What's been added, so what is missing from the previous document and is in this document, is a tuning guide. So if you ever need to retune your chord harmonicas, there's a tuning guide, which reed is which note, and etc. etc. So that's in there. But also, what's also in there is an idea of how you can play more than 48 chords on one of these harmonicas. What you can do with these is actually, and this is quite difficult, it takes a lot of practice and just really getting your head around how these harmonicas actually work. It gives you a few ideas about split chords. Again, this is coming from Mr. Walter Peterman, who gave me these ideas. He sent me a copy of a seminar that he did so many years ago. I think it's at the Spa event, a harmonica event or something like that. So he actually sent me a whole document about a seminar that he did about the chord harmonica many years ago. So I've took the split chords from his document, and of course with his permission, because I did ask, I've actually added it to my document. So the last few pages that are now added gives you an idea on how you can play minor 7th chords or major 7th chords, and a few, there's minor 6th chords and things like that. That it's a brilliant just document and especially with the help of some split chords. Now, split chords is not for everybody, I must say. I'm not into it myself just yet, but I'm trying to get my head around that myself. But it gives you an idea on how you can take two parts of two chords next to each other. So you take a few notes from this chord, a few notes from that chord, and together that forms a new chord. Sometimes with tongue blocking, so you need to block one or two holes off sometimes, etc. So it's all in the document in the last few new pages that have now been added. So please have a look, download it, and if you've printed it off, all you need to do is just print the last few extra pages off and you've got your complete document again. So there's the link. With that out of the way, we're now getting to the next stage on how you play your chord harmonica. And of course, the big question for anyone starting to play a chord harmonica is, where are my chords? I've already explained how it's laid out. Basically, you can see it as a circle of fifths. Circle of fifths is obviously round, but sort of broken up in the middle and made into a flat bar. So basically it's a circle of fifths in the shape of a long straight bar. If you get your head around that, if you are used to the circle of fifths already, if you know anything about that, that really helps you to understand the chord harmonica. What's also very helpful, and this is a really helpful step, if you can start doing that, you honestly get a whole new level of understanding about the chord harmonica. And that is playing scales on your chord harmonica. Playing scales. It really helps. And of course, together with the tip that I gave you in my last video, always know which chord you're playing, that really gives you a really perfect idea. It helps you to maneuver around the chord harmonica. It helps you to find your chords by head. Oh, next I need a such and such chord next. That's bop there, and that chord is there, etc, etc. It really helps you a lot. Very helpful tip is to play scales. What do I mean by scales? You can play the scales on, let's say, start with the major chords, which are the blow chords at the top, in the top body. So what you do, and you can start with a diatonic scale, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's a normal diatonic scale. And again, print off the chart in the document, have it ready, look for it, etc. So you start with just a simple scale from C to C, diatonic scale. C major, D major, E major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All the major chords. And then you can do that again on the minor chords. So they're the draw chords in the same top body. So just on those two. But what really helps even better, especially if you play complicated music with and you read all the chords from a chord chart for a particular tune or song, whatever, it helps even better if you can play a chromatic scale. And that really is a whole new level. Honestly, I promise. It takes quite a bit of getting used to. It takes time to practice. And this is one of the reasons why I haven't put this video on for a long time. Because to be honest with you, I have not played my chord harmonica much over the last few years. So I'm not particularly fluent in these chords myself. So I suppose you could call it a bit shy, I don't know, but it's one of them. Alright, so how do you go about playing a chromatic scale on a chord harmonica? And again, you do this on one type of chords at a time. So start with your major chords. They are the blow chords on your top body, so major chords only. So what you do then is, instead of C, D, E, F, G, so you get all the notes in between as well. So C, D flat, D, E flat, E, F, G flat, G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C. Now, this already makes you start to think, and this really helps with the tip I gave you in my last video: always name your chords. Because if you do this exercise, you have to think about what chord you're playing next. There's no escape from it. You have to think, hang on, what chord do I play next? And then you can always get it in your head what chord you're playing. It really helps. Again, I am not fluent at this. I haven't played my chord harmonica much for quite a few years now. So, but the way you do this, and obviously when you do this for the first time, it takes time. So I would say, give yourself that time. Give yourself the time. And what do I mean by that? So for instance, you start playing on a C major chord. Etc. And when you're playing, you already start to think, hang on, what chord do I need next? I'm on C now. While you're playing, this is all going on in your head. I'm on C now. So next I need the D flat chord. Hang on, where's my D flat chord? So get it from your head, or read it from the charts that you've printed off and put in front of you, or put it on the wall ahead of you, or something like that. So while you're playing, think about, hang on, what chord do I need next? And there are some, especially if you do chromatic steps, of course, there are some pretty big steps on the chord harmonica. This is where you really start to sway your harmonica around quite a bit. And this is where that muscle memory comes into place. Honestly, it really works. A treat. Honestly, I promise you. So you start playing the C. Hang on, what do I need next? Next I need the D flat chord. Hang on a minute, where is my D flat chord? So you start thinking about, hang on, where am I going next? And I'm lost already, you can tell. I forgot to think. I forgot to think for a moment, too much concentrating on making this video. But you get the idea. So while you're playing, take your time. Play as long as you like, until you know which chord you're picking next. And this always also helps you to name your chords. Right, so this exercise, playing a chromatic scale on a chord harmonica, just do the major chords, all the blow chords. Then you can do the same exercise, and the chords are in exactly the same place at the bottom, the draw chords on your top body. So you can do the major chords, and then you can do the minor chords. As you can tell, it takes me a lot of time and a lot of effort to do this. And this is probably what you would be doing when you start doing this exercise. And it's a fantastic, brilliant exercise just to do whenever you pick your chord harmonica up. Just do that first. The chromatic scale, C to C. And it doesn't matter where you start. You can play F to F or whatever. It doesn't matter. The jumps on the chord harmonica are always the same. It's usually about 6 chords to the left or 8 chords to the right, and etc. But this really gives you a brilliant, and it really helps your muscle memory as well. And it really helps to get this picture in your head of where you can find every single chord on the chord harmonica. So, major chords, minor chords first. And then it gets a bit more tricky. Then it gets a lot more tricky actually. So then you can do the 7th chords. The 7th chords are the draw chords on the top body. And I just realised I made a mistake. The minor chords are obviously the blow chords on the bottom body, which I just said wrong. So, the 7th chords, the draw chords at the top body, are always one position to the left, which makes it a bit more tricky. So, if this is your C major chord, then your C7th chord is right there, next to it. So it makes the navigation a lot more difficult and different as well. And then it becomes even a lot more complicated, and I'm not going into that at the moment, but with the diminished and augmented chords, that's where it gets really complicated. But you start with so just the chromatic scale, C to C, major chords blow top, minor chords blow bottom, and then if you feel up to it you can do the 7th chords, which is the draw chords at the top. But mind you, those chords are on a different position. They're one position to the left of the chords that you just practiced earlier. So, and this, I promise, this really helps to find your way around the chord harmonica. And what does it help with? Of course, you get a piece of music, you play with a few people, and you read along the chord chart, and you need an A minor chord, and you think, A minor, there. And the G flat chord, whoppa, all the way there, or whatever. And it really helps you to actually know where your chords are and how to find them. And of course, finding them is all in your hands, wrists, elbows, maybe a bit, I don't know. But try not to move your head. One of the most valuable exercises you can do on a chord harmonica. Honestly, absolutely 100% true. And it also helps with your muscle memory. And again, I haven't played my chord harmonica for quite a few years, mainly because I've got no reason to, and as I've explained in one of my previous videos, practicing a chord harmonica is not exactly the most exhilarating thing to do. I find it a bit boring. I'd rather be playing with someone else, and then if I've got someone to play with, of course, then I'll be into my practicing again. But again, that's a different story altogether. Again, if you're a solo player and you want to shine on the stage and make a name for yourself or anything, then the chord harmonica, I'm afraid, is not for you. The chord harmonica is basically part of an ensemble where you support where you're in a supporting role with other players, and basically make a piece of music much more interesting, obviously together. That's the whole idea about a chord harmonica, I think. I think that's it for this video. I hope this helps, and I hope you download the new chart, the new document, in the link here below. And I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that some in my previous videos, some of the content of the document was missing. I didn't realize that at all. It was only because I started looking at it recently, and then I found out, oh, hang on, the document that I posted on YouTube actually hasn't got this bit on it. So, and then I found it, of course, and so here's the new link. Just as a quick idea, because obviously it's been a long time since I've posted a video about the chord harmonica, and again, I can't say this enough, I've got a full-time job, it's been very busy, and I've got to have my head in the right place to do a video. I don't edit videos, I shoot them. As you can clearly see in this video, even if I made a mistake, I don't cut it out and come to back or edit it or anything like that. To me, a video has to come out as it is. Spontaneous, I think, is the word that I like to use for it. So, that's it for now. I'll have to think about the subject, what to do for the next part in the chord harmonica series. I've got a task to do at the moment, and that is on this particular harmonica. I'm actually working on doing a solo, playing a solo, which is quite a challenge. So I've got some work to do, and maybe when I'm ready I'll be back for more videos. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this one, and I hope this really helps, gives you an idea of what's your next step in playing the chord harmonica. Thank you and good luck.